the building on the back. Yeah, you know, one wonderful thing about the building and the construction is that when you look from any place around the school outside a window, you don't see any indication that you're right in the middle of the city. You know, and there's homes all around you. You know, you see trees. You know, further in the distance, you can see buildings. You know, but really the only thing that you can see is Trinity right there.
So during summer, do you think those trees, like all the vegetation that was left between the highway or Hildebrand, and like all this area, do you think that vegetation stops like of breezes or winds from that way from south during summer?
Breezes, no. I think because we are actually in one of the highest points in San Antonio, actually, and so we still receive the nice breeze. But of course, you know, in San Antonio in the heat of the summer, you don't. It's hot. You don't get much breeze from anywhere.
Yeah.
But you know, and I don't know if there's really any place you could be, you know, to avoid, you know, the heat of the sun at that point. But you know, when we're talking about that, you know, I mean, it gets really hot out here. Yeah, it can get hot out inside.
What about these? Is this some sort of a water catchment system?
Yes, they have where it drains from the building, you know, and then they have underneath. You can see it goes all the way down.
Yes.
Like through that drain.
Oh,
it goes all the way down through, and this was actually one of the last parts they had put on. These, because you can see that there's a little drainage. Yeah, that goes all the way down. The sun starts coming in, you know, shining in through the windows over here.
Yes.
And so we just close the shades.
Oh, and
we have electronic shades that we can put down on the three sides.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
So there's not a moment in the year where it becomes uncomfortable for the kids.
No.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't cause that much heat, and especially if they're closed. And if that were a problem, they would just remain closed.
Right.
Shades.
Yes.
Us this week, actually. So this is the south, southwest, southeast. As far as this is our back entry gate over here, and this is the staff parking.
Yes.
Here.
So all these areas. What I'm understood is that this part, that part, and that part are different wings, right?
Yes.
What is happening on the south side of these wings? Like this is a wall facing south. What is the program that goes on inside?
Now, this is an office. This is our speech and language department right here.
Okay.
So this is, you know, we have our speech pathologist offices right here.
Okay,
and
offices.
Some of our counseling. So right here directly is offices. That right there is offices to audiology office, and then the next wing is administrative offices.
Okay.
And then on the end, the wings, once there's a middle hall that once you cross that, then you get into the wings of, this is elementary department.
Yes.
So 1st through 5th grade. Then you have early childhood, which is kinder and pre-kinder. And then you have another early childhood wing, which is preschool.
Okay.
Pre-K.
So the older ones are in elementary?
Yes. The older
okay.
kids are elementary.
So you don't have any classroom or any classes going on the south side of the... Okay.
No. The idea being that too is that, you know, they have the windows there in their classrooms. When they look out their windows, all they see is the trees.
Yes.
Natural state.
National Geographic right here.
Maintenance guys, and they're working on the nature trail.
Oh.
Are you guys collecting more rocks?
Yeah, we're still working on that trail.
Say bye. Do you think during winter, like actually right now on these days, since on San Antonio the breezes or the winter winds, they come from northwest. Do you think all this vegetation helps somehow stopping those cold breezes?
I think at this point, at this level, with the level of vegetation that we have on this side of the building and trees, the tree lines, that even though our property is higher, you know, it hits along that to kind of buffer the building itself and the kids, because you know, you can get the breezes and the wind from different directions, of course, but at least this last winter that we were here, it seemed to, as far as help cut down on the wind, you know, yeah, on the building and the kids when they're outside.
Okay.
With the playgrounds being right back here. And when we go and look, you'll see that the playgrounds are right up to the tree lines.
Okay.
You know, they're just right next to it. Do you want to see the reservoir in the back?
Sure.
Start from the back, that's where paved it.
Hello. Hi. Thanks. Where?
Yeah, and this is actually the larger reservoir right here.
Oh, okay.
We'll call this Lake Sunshine.
Lake Sunshine.
Only it's dry. That's a good thing when it's dry.
It is big.
So, and you can see where it'll drain, and it goes through a drainage system out to the street, past the houses. But yeah, so as far as protecting from, you know, some of the wind or elements, you know, that I think with this brush and the tree lines, you know, really protects the kids and the building itself. Yeah. And then that's where the fence line starts, and that's where it goes around to the other side where we started.
Really large windows.
These shades on the sides, but these ones remain open because the sunlight was coming directly in through these windows or that window, which would generate the heat in here. And then they added the acoustical tiles also on the walls in here.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And so that's what's also installed in the classrooms.
It was installed after it was built. It wasn't part of the...
No, it was.
So this was the original wall?
Yes, very hard surfaces. And so when we get in, especially because all of the rooms like this and classrooms are equipped with sound fill systems.
Yes.
So when you get that sound and it just reverberates off the hard surfaces, it wasn't absorbing the sound as we needed it to.
So what about, you're saying this is the hottest part of the building?
This can get really hot with the
Not the change.
with the windows. Yeah.
And you put them on both sides, not on this side.
Right.
This side doesn't...
Get
you
direct
don't need
sunlight.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the east and the west. Okay.
And what goes on in here?
This is the library, so the kids will come in once a week, you know, for their library class or to check out books and things like that.
So there's no any type, like I'm noticing right there you have that shading device. You have none on this side, right, at all?
Yeah, on the north side.
Huh? Nothing on the north side. So do you
Oh,
think
the one that was like up, the window up there.
on the, yes.
Yeah.
Is this the coldest place of the building?
Oh, probably not. No. Probably the halls, you know, where the classrooms are the coldest.
Those
The
are, that's
classrooms are the coldest parts of the building.
the classrooms? Okay.
Do you have any trouble with the HVAC system being noisy?
In some areas, we've had them address that as far as when the blowers, like the blowers can be a little loud in some areas. Not all of them, but some of them, you know, so we've had them come and check because, and that was one of the things is that sometimes you would hear it blowing and the noise, but we, I guess, weren't knowledgeable enough to recognize that it's not supposed to be doing that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, mine does that, and you talk and you find out, well, we need to have it checked because it shouldn't be doing that. And when we first came into the building, the classrooms and the offices were equipped with the motion detectors to where it would turn the lights on and off. But those were causing interference to some of the cochlear implants that we have, the electrical components of the cochlear implants, so you would get a lot of static, so they had to disconnect those. So
Another manually?
yes,
Okay.
Another manual.
And I went in there. I said,
Okay,
"Well, what
perfect.
crime?"
I just want
Most
to
of
know,
them have
like,
the same like white surface that you saw in the library.
Right.
Much of the building is that.
Okay,
You know, this
what
is
about this?
cypress.
Yes.
Cypress that's incorporated externally and internally on the building.
oh, okay.
But it's still a hard surface. So the classrooms, you know, like you see here in these areas, they have the court and the classrooms, and you'll see around the front end of the classroom, the front wall of the classroom, there's a lot of cork around that area.
Yes.
Yes, and the idea was that this would help absorb some of the sound and prevent some of the reverberation. But in actuality, it really doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. It's not enough of a surface, and it's not enough of an absorbing
There's not too
material.
much absorption, right?
Yeah, material to absorb the acoustic.
So the fabric works better.
Yes.
Is this one of the examples, right, that you're saying that there's cypress outside and inside?
Yes.
When there's since there is outside, does that mean the interior? Is this a classroom?
Yes.
Okay, so the interior is not cypress anymore. The interior will be the white material we saw there.
Yes.
Okay. And this is not perforated metal. There's windows.
Use any sign language.
Yeah, noise. How did the noise?
Comes from over there. Do you have noise pockets, so to speak, like this?
Sometimes, yeah, in some areas. But, you know, I
Is-
think we've been to where it's like you've adjusted to where I haven't noticed it, but you pointed it out. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right, it is there.
Also, does it affect the children?
No, not that noise out in the hall, but if there's generally sometimes in the classrooms, you know, because we just want optimal listening environment as possible. But
Of course.
if you have something such as that, or reverberation, you know, then that takes away from that optimal listening environment. So when you see a classroom, there's one there, and then there's one that's, I think,
How many classrooms do you have in
right now we have 17.
17?
So this hall has 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5. And then the other ones have 1, 2, 4, 8.
Are we going?
Yes, it's empty, so you can go in and look at the classroom.
Thank you. And it's not pretty cold. I think it's warm, like comfortable warm. Okay, now we have the perforated metal here. Present to compass. Do I have it? Here it comes out.
Yeah. So,
Well, you know, this building at times is confusing because sometimes, especially like the gym, you feel as though the AC is on, but then also the heat is on, you know, on another side, you know?
Yes.
You know, it's
the
things like
difference
that.
Yeah, that's what we learned from the Jeff. Is that every single zone here has its own. No, but that's only for the pressure, right? For the volume of air coming in.
I think so.
It doesn't mean that one room is getting only if it's from the same unit.
Well,
But,
but,
yeah.
but there's certain areas that are with,
Have their
but
own
like the
control,
gym, but the
don't
gym is on it, it has its own.
Oh yes, yes,
But,
we learned that.
and then some are like, there's groups of those where they're connected, the systems, but like the gym, because sometimes you can walk through an area like this and it's cool, but
Right
then
now
there's
it's
a
cool.
warm pocket.
It feels cool.
Yes, right now it's comfortable, I think it's
Yeah.
cool. But other times it's can be freezing, or you can get a pocket of warm air.
Thank you.
And then
Oh yes,
see, and then with
oh yes, you feel the difference.
And then with these lights, you know.
I know.
always put on-
This is crazy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
see, that's what we think. That's a little crazy, but
What about these? Are these like the ones they use in the stores?
yeah, the directional or
Actually-
those ones aren't as hot.
Yeah, actually, I'm not feeling any temperature. All right. So what about the aesthetics of this? It's it was supposed to be out, exposed like that. All the
I believe so. That was the plan. Just like in the hallways, you know, it's open.
I kind of like it, but
You know, I mean, you get used to it, but I think in a sense too, sometimes you know you can hear, you know, the air.
You could hear it?
You can hear it
Oh, okay.
when it's on. Sometimes you can. And when it's an environment or a school like ours where you're so in tune with having a quiet, you know, environment setting, classroom setting for the kids, for the benefit of them getting a nice, clear signal of speech,
yes,
at times it can interfere with that.
yes.
Now, I think because of the angle of the building, maybe, I don't know, but the other room, the music room, doesn't get as hot as this room because of the sun.
It's,
Yeah.
It's
So
probably because of the sun.
so maybe you think this might be the hottest place here in the building, or at least in the wing?
Probably so. I'm sure our art teacher would say that.
This is the temperature.
It feels really warm. You can
But-
tell the difference.
Yeah, but you can see there, she even has it turned down, so actually it should be 2 degrees cooler.
Oh, okay.
You know,
but you don't feel
doesn't
it.
really make a difference.
So these are these are
You
the
don't feel the
thermostats.
difference because of the sun.
Right. And that's, most of the rooms have that, just that level of control, where you can just adjust by the 2 degrees cooler or warmer.
Oh,
That's
this
it.
that's what it means.
Yes. And so we go into the software and you make what the standard point is as far as cool. Maybe it's 72.
Oh, okay.
So from 72, she can adjust by 2 degrees.
74 or 70?
70.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
This is crazy. You can feel the heat coming from what will this be? South side. Can I read your phone?
So,
Yeah, this is
Yeah, the gym is pretty warm. Or is it, or the AC is just off right now?
I don't know, but I know that they were having trouble in this room because it's like one of them was blowing cool air.
Yes.
One of them was blowing warm air.
Oh,
So,
it's weird. Yeah.
yeah.
was it creating condensation here inside?
Oh, yeah. And,
You could feel the moisture? Oh,
and-
that's a
but
problem.
in the front of the building, too, you can also do that. You can also feel it. We even have so much condensation by some of the windows that some of the carpet is lifting.
Yes. Uh-huh. That is facing south. So one belongs to for each, two for each duct. One
And
of
then,
them.
so what we can do is,
Okay.
what we can do is you can adjust, oh, they're both going. What you can do is you can adjust, you know, up or down, you know, for 2 hours.
Okay.
So we'll do that on the, like on the
For-
nights
for
when we
2
have
hours?
PTG meetings or something, yeah, for 2-hour increments.
And that's it. You have to come change it after the 2 hours.
74. Since this building is facing south and with those big windows over there, do you think there then we might have an average of 78, 70, or something like that? I think that's a
it's
pretty
really
good deal.
hard.
Those windows, the heat that is coming in from there.
And we do have the shades, you know, we have those controls.
Oh yes,
there.
yes, yes. I finally
We
could
can-
see them.
we-
So they're controlled by.
Yeah, we have switches in here that put the shades down when we need them. But I don't know, this room really varies a lot in temperature.